Andrew.
Hello.
So, how are you today?
I'm alright.
Tired?
Kind of, but not as much.
Okay. Well, as we get into our discussion, our conversation, um, I want you to think about what you want to get out of this conversation with me.
Okay.
What do you think you would get out of this conversation?
Maybe an understanding of what I want to change, where I can go towards making those changes, and maybe figure out how to prevent from going back to that state.
Interesting. That was a really good answer. So tell me, why have you agreed to come here and talk to me today?
I feel like you're the closest thing, or the closest person that I can feel comfortable talking about this certain subject. Um, it's not usually something that I just, you know, blurt out to somebody on the spot, and it's a topic that I don't talk about publicly, and I feel like um, speaking to you on this matter is more comfortable.
Well, I am so glad you're comfortable. Everything that is said in a session is confidential, so it's between us. And thank you for agreeing to have it videotaped. The only other person that will watch this is my professor. None of the students or my colleagues will watch this. But so tell me exactly what's on your mind today, and what would you like to discuss?
Well, I would say it started, in college. I was pretty active, moving about. Um, in my freshman year, moving about, keeping myself fit. But there were moments throughout that experience where I have gained some weight. I don't know if it's still relevant, but I believe it was called the Freshman 15. Uh, and I felt like I kind of got a little bit of that, and ever since I've been, trying to find ways to get back to that weight that I was before I started my experience as a college student. But I would always be hindered with certain challenges, like staying committed to regimens, finding out what regimens fit best for me, what certain foods should I eat, and how relevant should I eat it on a daily basis. Because sometimes you don't want to eat the same thing over and over. You want to have variety. You want to have new experiences, new dishes, and I didn't know where to go with that. And as far as the workout regimen, it, you start out like day one, day two, and then it's like maybe like day 3 or 4 that you don't want to do it anymore. It's that consistency that is the real challenge, staying consistent. And so I just want to find what's a good regimen that fits best for me, one that will not have me aching after every single session, and just get me back to where I currently was, because I don't I don't want to be going up a size of clothing every single month.
Wow, you've expressed quite a bit, and there, I really commend you for wanting to make a change. We all, at some point, want to make a change in our life. So I commend you. You've done marvelous, and you've articulated it so well. You've mentioned that you're in college, and you are talking about getting healthier and losing some unwanted weight, which is good for your health. College, studying, college during the pandemic. You mentioned commitment, regimens, that's exercise, and weight loss, and what to eat, what food should I eat, and consistency. And I think that that's a great place to start. Why is this goal, this thing that you want to change, why is it important to you?
Well, I am a graduate of a college called Five Towns College with a BFA musical theater, and musical theater was that sort of activity that allowed me to not gain any more weight and make me gain any excess fat. So what I'm mostly trying to say is it helped me stay active and maintain that physique that I originally had, but it I just felt like I should be doing more to shorten that weight,
Reduce it. Very good. Okay, so we're gonna discuss something that you want to make a change in, something that you want to improve upon, which is your weight loss plan. Is that right? Okay.
That's correct.
So, this is a very good goal. This is a goal that is very common, but it can be difficult. And so, why do you want to make the change? Specifically, why? I know why it's important to you, but why do you want to make the change?
I want to feel comfortable with who I am.
Okay.
I want to feel confident in myself, not just eternally, but externally. I want to look at myself and feel like that is the person that God made me.
Okay. You want to be comfortable. You want to feel confident. Does any of this have to do with your health?
Yes.
So, you want to be confident, you want to be comfortable, and you want to be healthy. Is that right?
Yes.
I think that's very good. And so, how does it feel making this goal to make this change in your life?
It feels good, but also it feels scary because I don't know what the right choices are, even though there are many choices. There are like many examples and choices out there, and I never know what fits best for me. I just want something that is simple for me to achieve, but also that will allow me to work hard at it and not feel difficult.
That's the next question I was going to ask you. Do you feel like this goal is going to be difficult?
Absolutely, because it all revolves around me committing to myself, committing to getting to this physique, this figure, this person that I aim to become. And it's hard because,
Yeah.
like I said before, you start in, you feel good, and then eventually you fall off and go back to square one.
You hit a plateau. It was like you
Hit
just,
a brick wall.
Okay. All right, I got it. So have you began the process of making this change?
Many times.
I mean, this particular time now, you set your goal, and what have you done toward this goal so far to prepare at least?
I've written out a proper regimen daily. So for every day, it's a different regimen. So one day I'll focus on a certain body part. So
You mean exercises?
yes,
Okay.
the diet part is something that I'm still working on because I want to figure out what's best for me. So what's best for me, but also something that will help me daily.
I understand. You definitely have given it a lot of thought. I commend you on that for sure. Losing weight and becoming healthy is a commitment, and it is difficult, but it's not impossible. Do you believe that? So, so you've mentioned your regimens. So you've began to think about how implementing a plan to accomplish this goal. So what do you think is going to be different as you begin to accomplish this goal? What do you think is going to be different about you as you go forward to start accomplishing this goal?
To put it simply, a strong support system. You know, I have my parents to encourage me to make the right choices and help me better myself in every way. Because I feel like that's the most important thing. You never want to go into something alone. Many people do that, and if you have someone to encourage you and help you along the way, that gives you that extra boost to say, you know, I can actually commit myself to something like this, no matter how difficult it is.
Very good. So, what do you want presently to be different as you embark upon this goal, this change?
like in health wise or just in general?
What do you want? What do you want to be different right now, presently?
I guess I would say to be a little bit slimmer, to get that close to movie star physique.
So you're saying that if you were to drop weight, it that would be different. That would maybe spark some encouragement.
Like decrease the belly fat and form that.
Presently.
Yes.
Presently. I want you to understand what I'm saying. Presently. Okay? Not, because it will take time. So presently, what would you see that is different just now? Like, for instance, will you drink more water? Will you drink less juice? Will you, and presently, because you start and it's going to be different.
Maybe cut back on sweets.
Okay, so that'll be different. It'll be less sweets.
I do.
Is that your weakness? Okay. It's good to know what your weaknesses are. So you can focus on that. They become temptations, and so you can kind of resist that temptation. Maybe every now and then you have a little chocolate cake, and then you don't eat it every day. Maybe that'll be different. In the future, what do you think? What do you see what do you want to be different in the future? Not presently, but in the future, maybe 3 months from now. You got the summer coming up and into the fall, maybe 3 to 6 months. What do you want to see different?
I want healthier meal plans.
Okay.
So maybe cut back on some meats and find more vegetables to have aside from the simple peas, carrots, and
healthier choices. Great. That's great, Andrew. Now, here's a good question. Are you passionate about this goal, or are you just like, no? Like, are you happy? Are you sad? You said you're scared, but are you passionate?
I would say that I am very passionate on it.
So, without maybe, you might not, feel comfortable sharing what you're doing with other people, but what will others notice as you embark upon this goal? Will they notice that you're becoming cranky because you're not eating sweets? You come back on sweets that make you cranky, or maybe they might notice that you might have like this newfound energy.
I want to put it in this way. I want people to notice that I am making a big choice in my life. I am breaking boundaries that I am nervous to break, but I am making a commitment to break them and changing something about myself that I should have changed long ago or prior to. And I want them to see that if I'm able to suck up, get rid of some sweets every once in a while, and dedicate myself to changing certain parts of myself, then maybe they can do the same.
Oh, so kind of like an inspirational Like, you know, you want to, while you're on this journey, you want to kind of inspire people. That's great. Yeah. Because, you know, if the more serious you become, you know, people will notice, you know, and it's definitely a positive thing. So I want you to imagine, just imagine that you woke up tomorrow morning and out of your goal suddenly was reached. How would you feel? I reached my goal, you know, I lost 12 pounds, whatever your goal is. I've done it. Well, how will Andrew feel?
At ease with himself, that his commitment to what he set out to do made a change, and that he's going in the right direction.
Right. So you know that you are going in the right direction just by setting the goal, just by thinking about meal plans, just by thinking about the word that you continuously use, commitment. You're committed. And breaking boundaries. I like that one too. So I just want you to keep that in mind. You do know that, right? Okay. Because sometimes procrastination could be, you know, our worst enemy. But the fact that you have, you know, you have already come up with exercises and different things that you're going to exercise this part of the body one day and that party, that's really huge. You do realize that, right? Yes. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how do you feel about yourself right now? 1 being lowest, 10 being greatest.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I give myself a 5.
Okay, a 5. And what do you think it would take for you to increase this number and it become a 6 or a 7?
I guess I would say encouragement. It's a good motivator.
What would encourage you though?
You know, maybe like having a partner do some like reps with me.
Okay. Yeah, you could always, you know, call on a friend, you know, to meet you at the gym or at the park or whatever, or come over or you go over, so that's good. So encouragement would help you increase. How about if you lost 5 pounds, would that make the scale go up a little?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So I don't want this just to be a discussion, you know, this could be an ongoing discussion. And we want this to be productive time. So as a result of you talking to me today, how do you think that is going to benefit you?
I want this one-on-one to push me in somewhere in the right direction, and I also want it to be as a sign of encouragement, but also kind of like as a wake up call, saying like, you're committing to this. Is going to be hard, and there's going to be times where you're not feeling it, but at the end of the day, you made this decision, and I know that I can do everything that I can to at least put in an effort.
So you got all of this out of what we've been talking about so far. That's what you want to be able to get out of this. Very interesting. That's good. And so how do you feel about this discussion? Do you feel disappointed? Are you motivated? Are you encouraged, inspired? You use your own adjective. How do you feel about this discussion today?
Determined.
Wow.
I feel very determined to see where I can go from here.
Determined. That's a very good word. That means that, to me, it seems as if you've given this a great deal of thought and you've already begun to commit to this goal. And even though you see yourself at 5, if you were to lose a few pounds, that would probably go up to 6 or 7. That's very good. Keep that in mind as you move forward. The level of difficulty can be, challenging, but it's not an impossibility. And I like the fact that you said that, maybe you were referring to having someone keep you accountable. To say, come on, Andrew, you can do it. Give it an extra rep, extra exercise. Or there may be times when you're just too tired or just too busy, and they'll say, did you exercise today? Did you, So that, to me, it sounds as if you have given a great deal of thought and effort to your goal, to making your change. Now, let's end our discussion a little early by you expressing any thoughts. Express any thoughts that you have about this discussion. And one question I do want to ask you is, have you decided, specifically when you're going to start?
I would definitely like to start somewhere today.
Okay. And
start somewhere simple and work my way up.
Right. You mean start some exercises, some regimens? Okay. I think that's good. You will have to start somewhere. So we start from the beginning, and then at the end of the week, since this is Monday, at the end of the week, maybe you assess and analyze how well you did. And maybe it's a good idea to have a journal, But it's very, very good. Start. Any other thoughts?
I did like your comment on being too busy or too tired to do anything. I don't want this commitment or experience. I don't want any excuses. That is what I've been doing. It's like, oh, I'm gonna write off this regimen and I'm gonna start it, and it's always like a procrastinating thing, and it's always an excuse. And I know that I could have done this at any time, but I just hadn't put that much work, that much backbone into it. So I don't want to bring in any excuses to this commitment.
No excuses. Maybe you can make that a slogan, and you can write it down, and you can put it, in your room or somewhere on your desk, or or you can write it down. You could get like a fresh journal, and you can write down, how you're feeling day one. I know you're busy with work and school, but that's very good. That's very good. It seems as if this has been a productive conversation. Do you have any questions that you'd like to ask? I mean, not that I can answer them, but maybe, there's some questions we can find the answers.
No, I think that's everything for today.
Okay. Do you feel as if this has been productive to move you in the right direction?
Yes.
Change is not always easy, because we get used to doing what we do, and we like what we like. But the main important thing is that you've started it today by having this conversation with me. You've started it already because you've given it a great deal of thought. And I don't want you to judge yourself on your weight. And, you are an incredible young man. And so you just want to be a little bit more incredible. And you just want to be perhaps healthier. Maybe. But I think that is a very worthwhile goal. It's preventative in nature, and being healthy and eating good can prevent sickness and disease. So that's a good way for you to be encouraged too. You can put that in your journal, and on your sayings you can make up something. But overall, you've done a great job of articulating what your goal is, and I'm here if you would like to talk more about it. We can talk more about it. We can assess the situation maybe a week from now, or maybe 2 weeks. We can come back and we can sit down and say what went well and what didn't go well. Maybe you can readjust this, the way that you have attacked, this goal, how you've moved forward. You think that's a good thing?
Yes.
Okay. So stay strong and be encouraged. I like all the things that you said. Very well thought out. It shows that you've been meditating and thinking about this. And even when you started before, it really is part of the process. Failure sometimes is good, because you can learn from mistakes and you can keep pressing on. Well, I want to thank you for coming in with this discussion, and you're free to leave.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.